Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Laura Lavoie. I'm the Executive Director of Humble Design San Diego. Thank you to Supervisor Montgomery Stepp, to Tamara Kohler, to members of the UC San Diego Homelessness Hub and the Humble Design team, to our board members, our community partners, and our friends. Thank you for being with us today for this exciting morning. For those of you who haven't met us yet, Humble Design is a nonprofit organization. We design and furnish homes for people who are leaving homelessness. Think HGTV for people who actually need it. We serve families, individuals, and veterans who are referred to us by partner agencies in the social services sector across the county. We work with organizations such as Alpha Project, Monarch School, Youth Assistance Coalition, San Diego Rescue Mission. I could go on all day, but that's not the point of this press conference. We'll talk about that later. Our clients at Humble Design, they all have a roof over their head. There's nothing under that roof. So using donated furniture given to us by a community who cares about our neighbors, we take an empty house and in one day we transform it into a personalized home for people who have left homelessness. And then our clients break the cycle of homelessness. We're all here this morning to hear about amazing research findings from the UC San Diego Homelessness Hub. They spent 10 months researching our program and evaluating our impact. We're very excited to hear what they have to say about what they learned. But first, it's my great honor to introduce Supervisor Monica Montgomery Stepp. She's a tireless champion for our unhoused neighbors here in San Diego and for all of the people who work in the field supporting them. She's been part of Humble's mission herself, and she's going to share her perspective on why what we do at Humble is important for our community. Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the introduction, and good morning, everyone. As Laura mentioned, I'm Monica Montgomery Stepp, and I serve as County Board of Supervisors for the 4th District. Homelessness is one of our top issues that the county faces. Each day that my colleagues and I sit on the dais, we make very important decisions about how we provide resources for our unsheltered community members. The lack of resources in my mind is a moral issue. And when I make these decisions, I consider my personal story. My life could have ended very differently if I had not had a compassionate family who took care of me through sickness. I feel very blessed to be where I am today. It's extremely hard for me to cast judgment on those who are searching for that opportunity. And I think of our crisis as my responsibility to help provide stability for folks who are on their individual path to progress. As many are aware, I'm fighting for these resources right now. This week, I led a proposal to expand outreach services to the city of Lemon Grove. This type of program gives our community members hope that they too can transition to a more secure and certain step. I've also championed the county to fund transitional homes in Lemon Grove off of Troy Street and Sweetwater Road. There is so much hope in this project that will truly provide a way that our neighbors can transition to more permanent stability. However, we must do more to ensure comfort, security, and a place where they can rebuild their lives. Something as simple as providing furniture is essential to restoring dignity and securing long-term effects after finding that permanent housing. Moving from homelessness to a new home is a major change, and furnishings reduce the burden of that transition. Providing furnishings helps alleviate the immediate financial and emotional stress, allowing individuals and families to focus on other aspects of their transition. It is not just about providing physical items, but about offering a foundation for stability, for well-being, and for a renewed sense of hope. In a space that can feel full of despair and division, it's important to share places of joy and of hope. Humble Design is one part of the homelessness sector that is filled with hope. They expand accessibility to essential household items that are fundamental to building a stable life, particularly for those transitioning from homelessness. I recently attended the home reveal for a humble client in my district. He is an Army veteran and the father of a 13-year-old girl. He is a man who felt like he had been forgotten by his community. But he was filled with hope and gratitude when he saw the home that had been made just for him. And this filled me with hope. After the visit, I donated some of my own belongings and had the opportunity to see them in a home of a single mom and her 4 kids who transitioned into permanent housing. The opportunity to have beautiful custom belongings gives people dignity. It reminds us all that people experiencing homelessness are people. They're our neighbors and our community members. Humble Design is a critical partner in the journey to new beginnings, a journey that brings together people from every corner of our community to help our neighbors. I am very, very proud to be a part of this mission and very excited to hear that UC San Diego has been working on evaluating the impact of Humble Design. I appreciate you all having me here this morning, and at this time, I will hand it back to Laura to share a bit more about Humble Design and the study. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor Montgomery Stepp. We're so grateful for your support and for the support of our whole community. Humble is powered by the community, by volunteers who invest their time painting furniture, carrying dressers upstairs, hanging pictures on the wall, family photos of our clients who are seeing themselves in their space for the first time in their home. For our donors who invest money in our mission so that we can serve more people. For our neighbors who donate your furniture and home goods to give it a second meaningful life for somebody who's gonna make a new life out of it. Our Humble clients are amazing. They're people who have survived trauma. They've found the services that they need, and they have decided that they are gonna change their lives for good. All of Humble's clients have housing. What they need is a home. And once they have a home, research shows that they will break the cycle of homelessness and begin to thrive. This year, flying under the flag of the World Design Capital, we were honored to commission the research about our evaluation and our impact from a top 10 research university in our own neighborhood. This study was generously funded by Funders Together to End Homelessness, the Corey Imani Foundation, Sue and Roger Lisa Gang, and Marie Olison. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Stacy Livingston from the UC San Diego Homelessness Hub. Stacy's gonna share the remarkable findings from their evaluation of Humble Design and how we empower our clients to change their lives for good.
Thank you, Laura. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Stacy Livingston, and I am one of the 3 researchers from the Homelessness Hub at UC San Diego that conducted this evaluation of Humble Design San Diego. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Homelessness Hub, we are a new research entity that does research on housing options and homelessness services locally in San Diego with the aim of ending homelessness. Our team is comprised of researchers, students, and persons with lived experience of homelessness. So myself and Drs. Meryl Rabinowitz-Bussell and Leslie Lewis conducted this evaluation of Humble Design over the course of 10 months. We were specifically looking to understand how this unique home design intervention supports Humble clients in terms of housing retention and health impacts. To conduct this evaluation, we did survey 169 Humble clients and conducted 30 follow-up interviews. The majority of the clients that we surveyed are parents, most of which were single mothers. Almost half of our participants are living with a disability. And finally, just to give you a sense of who we talked with, our participants in terms of racial and ethnic identity represent who is experiencing homelessness in San Diego, as well as Humble's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So our findings are remarkable. Nearly 98% of Humble clients that we surveyed are still in their housing after receiving their Humble services. This is a housing retention rate for individuals and families exiting homelessness that is more than 10 times the county average. Importantly, what we discovered is that having a sense of home, rather than merely just having access to housing, improves client physical, mental, social, and financial health. These findings are important for two reasons. First, we think this is what is accounting for this amazing housing stability that Humble clients experience. Second, as researchers, we are also very interested in this finding because we feel that having a sense of home, having furniture, having decor, things that people exiting homelessness typically do not have access to, is an overlooked aspect of the literature on the connections between housing and health. To give you a sense of some of our findings, 86% of survey respondents noted that they had an increased sense of self-worth after their Humble experience, while 82% noticed they had an increased sense of security, two important markers of mental health. Additionally, about 74% of our respondents felt that they had an increased sense of social belonging, and 45% of our respondents noted that their incomes had increased after their Humble experience. Clients attributed these improvements to their total health, to both the final product, their home environment, and the fact that Humble delivered their services with dignity and respect and care. For instance, while many of the people we talked with talked about how their new home environment improved their health, their new beds led to improved sleep, new dining room tables and living room couches led to more gatherings at their places, and a new sense of home led to new goal setting, goals that they hadn't thought of before, that they could achieve before. Many also highlighted how the care that they received during their Humble experiences really improved their health. As one client shared with us, for me, the fact that anyone would want to take the time to do that for somebody like me that had been out of the loop from normal society, it made me feel important. Like somebody cared, and that's priceless to me. We'd like to note too that these health impacts were especially important for families with children. Parents frequently highlighted that their improved mental health in turn improved their children's sense of security, which in turn improved their mental health. So as one caregiver shared with us, as one mother shared with us, I sleep better knowing that my kids are comfortable. In this sense, the findings from our study suggest that Humble, its unique home design intervention, may not just be an intervention, but a prevention, boosting parent and child resilience in ways that could end intergenerational homelessness. Based on our key findings, we make the following recommendations. First, we recommend that Humble scale up its impact, its capacity to help individuals and families exiting homelessness. To do this, we recommend that flexible funding sources be identified and used to attach Humble services to housing assistance for persons exiting homelessness. In addition to this, Humble should continue to identify sources of philanthropic giving. Second, thinking about the power of design, we recommend that the San Diego Continuum of Care identify other potential design initiatives within the homelessness services sector to bring the power of design to more people using supportive services. So our full report will be published in September on our Homelessness Hub website and the Humble Design website. We encourage the San Diego community to read it and to take action to implement solutions in support of both Humble clients and all organizations working to end homelessness. Those organizations that are working to ensure that homelessness in San Diego is rare, brief, and non-recurring. So here to speak more about this is Regional Task Force on Homelessness CEO Tamara Kohler. Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you. And thank you to Laura, Dr. Livingston, Supervisor Monica Montgomery-Stepp, dear friend, and all of you today who are here for some good news on homelessness. Far too often, we're talking about the challenges, the limitations, and really the trauma that comes around homelessness. But today it's good news. I too have been able to participate in a Humble Designs Day of Joy. I've been able to see for myself the immediate and lasting impact for a veteran and his children. To be able to see them go from an empty house to a home, and the comfort and the joy and the weight lifted off their shoulders. It's an incredible experience. It also humanizes this space in a way that very little else does. So I encourage you, if you have an opportunity, to volunteer at Humble Day, at one of their days of joy, or volunteer anywhere in this system. We need people committed to really supporting each other in this work. It'll change your heart. It'll change your perspective. It'll bring an understanding and a knowledge and a real commitment that everyone has a personal journey, but everyone can recover from a homeless experience. I'm also really encouraged that we did a study on this work. Too often we study the things that are not working and not so much the things that we know work to really quantify what success looks like in a really personal way. So I'm really honored to be a part of this today. The RTFH has partnered with the Homeless Hub. We support their work. We are deeply embedded in the work that they do in data and trust and admire them deeply. We focus on data collectively, but more important is the storytelling that they do that is so profoundly important. It tells the impact that we have on our communities when we come together and we house more people. RTFH's primary role is to address homelessness, but under that is connecting people. It is a connection that makes the journey possible. It is the connection that does the real hard work. We're able to lean into doing good work and to help create partnerships that amplify that impact. RTFH has funded a really important initiative called Shared Housing Collaborative. We've done this to increase the awareness and utilization of shared housing. It's really having roommates. It's how most of us afford our housing, are safely working together, and have people in our space to share our joys and our challenges. Shared housing is so viable and so important in affordable housing interventions in a critical way. And San Diego across the county has to lean into this important work. And we're partnering with townspeople, a phenomenal additional nonprofit. Their leader, Melissa Peterman, is an expert in shared housing and has done incredible training and work in this. And RTFH has really believed in the shared housing to help the county that we will get closer to addressing homelessness. If we can house 2 people in every door or 3 people in every door, think of how that will supercharge the work that we do. And in that partnership, as a pillar of housing placements, we are committed to work with townspeople and the city of Vista to work on shared housing. We have contracted with them and trusted them to invest those resources. RTFH is proud to partner not only with them, but with Humble Design to really work to match public and private partnership funding to end the cycle of homelessness. And in those contracts, we've dedicated funding of $25,000 to each to over $50,000, of which they're going to partner with Humble Design. And in actuality, this is happening today. We are pairing through our shared housing roommate with Homeless Design in La Mesa today. A couple with a baby due and a senior who will be sharing a home. Doesn't that just look like how our families put our housing together anyway? So this is really leaning into what we know works. So there's a part that I am just so joyful today that this is happening while we are talking about it. It is being put into action. So today I really want to encourage the general public to find ways to support, not only to donate, but to participate in a day of joy, but also be willing to donate funding to this work, which is really critical and important. You have to do the back work, the administrative work, the kind of things that make this work possible. And as we lean in and we partner together, we know it creates a ripple effect that can become the rising tide that truly lifts all boats in a system together. But don't just take my word for it. It is my honor to introduce a dear friend, an extraordinary gentleman. He's an Army Air Force veteran, a father, he's a humble client, he's a shared housing team member, and a real estate agent. He is a tireless advocate for all San Diegans experiencing homelessness and everyone who's working to support our neighbors. I am honored, friends, to introduce Jesse Gray.
Thank you, Tamara, and thank you all for being here today. For those of us working and volunteering in the space, my story is all too familiar. I separated from the military and ended up living out of my car in hotels for almost 2 years. I was honorably discharged from the Air Force and almost immediately into the streets with no conceptualization or plan for how to structure my life outside of the rigid guidance of the military. To exacerbate things, I was also dealing with substance abuse. When I had nothing left but my faith and hope for a better future, I determined within myself to start on a better path so that I could build a legacy for my son and my loved ones. But that was not possible without compassionate people, individuals within organizations pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into helping the least of us in our community. I moved to San Diego with nothing but a duffel bag and determination. And the first person who helped me was Monica at Uplift San Diego, followed by John Brady over at Lived Experience Advisors. When I was finally able to get approved for an apartment, I moved in with my bed and not much else. The expenses to get my foot into an apartment were all I could manage. Humble Design came in and fully furnished my home from top to bottom, leaving no wall blank. A feat that would have easily taken me years. That's when I realized that there was something special here. An empty space became a home I could begin rebuilding my relationship with my son in. There's still people that look like me and look like my friends struggling with homelessness, so I stay involved in the battle because I believe San Diego has a fighting chance where other cities have fallen short. But that means tireless collaboration and compensations for individuals with lived experience. That's why I went from being a client at Humble Design to a member of the advisory board, because I believe and value and admire that we do it well. At Humble, I see healing happening on all sides of the equation, not only those we serve, but also those who volunteer and get involved in the design arm of addressing homelessness. What we do is only possible through partnership with the community. Sometimes I'm not sure who cries more, the clients we serve or the volunteers. When I think about Humble Design, I think about hope presented in a way that's often overlooked because it's so hard to quantify. How do you put a dollar sign to self-actualization or dignity? Or what are the key performance indicators of someone that's achieved housing stability? A society without design is a dead society, but yet it's often the last item on a checklist. This study represents the melding of two halves of our collective minds, the creativity and the data. And I'm so thankful for all of you who are coming together to give more Humble Design to more people. Please join me in helping Humble however you can. And I'd like to introduce you to the Humble Design founder and CEO, Trigger Strasberg, to close us out.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Dr. Livingston. Laura, so much. Thank you, Supervisor Montgomery Step. That was beautiful, and I loved having you down at the house. It was amazing. Today is a special day because somebody has recognized that what we do at Humble Design is not just provide a bridge between the furniture that's out there that exists and the people that need it. What UCSD and the Homelessness Hub have done is they have proven that this has a much higher purpose in the homelessness story. What we do provides stability, what we do provides hope, and what we do provides dignity and empathy inside of a system that doesn't feel like there's a lot of hope, empathy, and dignity inside of it. Our tagline right now, Togetherness to End Homelessness, is really what we are here for today. We're here to highlight what partnerships look like. Jesse's story took 4 or 5 different pieces of this puzzle to make sure that he was successful and now serves as a member of our volunteer board. And I want to highlight all of those working together. I feel like we have a great opportunity to show other cities how this is done and how homelessness issues and the social services and the wraparound services can work together to really solve this issue. But what Humble Design does here in San Diego, even though we've served hundreds of families, is just proof of concept. Because now that we've shown that what we do actually keeps people out of the cycle of homelessness, we need to grow. We need to grow, and we need to grow to scale and serve every single person who needs us in this county. To do that, we need great partnerships. Partnerships like the Lucky Duck Foundation. So I would like to call on Drew Mosier right now up to the podium to speak about how the Lucky Duck Foundation is going to share in this process and help Humble with its next level of growth.
Thanks, Trigger. My name's Drew Moser. I'm with the Lucky Duck Foundation. Our mission is to prevent and alleviate the suffering of homelessness throughout San Diego County. I first want to applaud Humble Design for doing a very thorough self-assessment to see if what we're doing doesn't work, and then finding the funding to pay for that really extensive research study, and then to find that folks that they help move in are 10 to 12 times more likely to stay in their home, I think is telling. We as a foundation have prioritized seniors, and we've prioritized youth. And when you look at the fact that about 2/3 of the population they serve are families with children, in our minds, it's ending the cycle of homelessness for those parents, but also those kids, those children. When those children feel safer, and they're much more likely to do the simple act of having friends come over to their house to play. So it's our pleasure to provide a $100,000 matching challenge to Humble Design between now and the 31st of October to help them start the process of scaling this model so that more families and more children can benefit from this effort that truly does break the cycle of homelessness for families, and most importantly, the children that are able to serve. So Trigger and Laura, hats off to you for your leadership, and again for doing that really thorough organizational analysis to understand how truly effective are we, and given the outcomes and the effectiveness and the ability to help youth, we're pleased to provide this matching challenge. Thank you.
So thank you so much to Drew and the Lucky Duck Foundation for helping the community. And thank you everyone here today for coming out so we can get the news out and help as many people as we possibly can. To public officials, please designate your flexible funds to the Shared Housing Collaborative so we can create more homes for more people. And donors and philanthropists, please invest your money in a solution that actually has data behind it that works. We are one of those examples where you can point to a one-to-one data and hard data that what we do is making a difference in this sector. Community members, if you want to come down and volunteer with us, I swear it will change your life forever. And just seeing the joy of this, of our days when we go down and decorate the homes, it will give you hope that things are getting better in a world where it doesn't feel that way all the time. Please get to know our clients and be part of their story, because it will change your story forever. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for coming out today, and thank you so much.